Welcome to this video on changing a part number's inventory type. Use change inventory type when you need to change how a part number is tracked, leverage custom inventory types, or when the wrong inventory type was assigned when the part number was first created. This operation cannot be undone or backed out, so it should be limited to ToolHound administrators or experienced ToolHound users. Let's recap the basics of inventory types. The inventory type affects every single thing related to the part number. Here we see the standard inventory types of bulk, consumable, non-stock, and serialized. Bulk and consumable are used to track quantity part numbers. Non-stock is used to track virtual part numbers or other part numbers where you don't want to track the quantity on hand. And serialized is used to track unique items which could potentially have service requirements. We'll walk through 5 different scenarios for using change inventory type. The only change that cannot be made is from any non-serialized inventory type to a serialized inventory type. There are repercussions for every change, including lost documents, history, outstanding issues, quantities, and service history. Be sure to read the confirmation message on each change for details. You can also consult the help documentation. When changing an inventory type to a custom equivalent of an existing inventory type of the same definition, the change is transparent. In this example, we're switching to VMI for abrasives. We want a record that something went out, but we don't want to maintain a quantity on hand. We're going to change the grinding discs from consumable to non-stock. Here is our part number for the grinding discs. Looking at the stocking points tab, we can see that we have quantities both on hand for more than one stocking point, in transit inbound, and on requisitions. So let's open up the change inventory type page, click plus, and we'll enter in the part number for the grinding disc. The original inventory type is displayed, and we'll select the new inventory type of non-stock. When we click Save, the warning is displayed, and this contains important information. The unreceived transfers will be closed. The transfer rates will be removed from the transfer rate sheet. So let's go ahead and proceed. When we return to the part number and refresh, the inventory type has been changed, and looking at the stocking points again, we can see all the on-hand quantities are removed. The in-transit quantities are also removed, but the on-transaction requisition quantities remain, since non-stock items can be on a requisition. And the transaction history shows the change inventory type event from consumable to non-stock. Gloves were previously set up as bulk to keep a tight rein on the quantities going out, but we've decided to change them to consumable because handling the returns was unmanageable. Here's the part number for the XL size gloves. Clicking on the stocking points tab, we see we have values for the quantity on hand and issued, since this is a bulk part. On the change inventory type page, we'll click plus, enter in the part number, and it displays the current inventory type. We'll select consumable as the new inventory type and click Save. The warning is displayed. Note it says the transaction rates will be set to 0 in the transaction rate sheet, and issued items will no longer be outstanding. Let's go ahead and proceed. When we return to the part numbers page and refresh, we see that now the quantity on hand is unchanged, but the issues are 0. Looking at the transaction history page, we can see the new event for the change inventory type from bulk to consumable. In this case, we're looking at welding cable. We anticipated managing service for the cables would include repairing the rubber cable sheathing and/or replacing the ends. Instead, it will be handled as a cost of doing business rather than servicing each item. We're going to change the inventory type to bulk. Here's the part number for our 50-foot welding cable. Note that we have 43 individual items. Looking at the Stocking Points tab, we can see that in the main location we have 40 on hand and 3 issued. On the Change Inventory Type page, we'll click plus, enter the part number, select the new inventory type of bulk, and click Save. Note the warning. One item will become the primary item ID and the rest will become alternate item IDs, and the service history will be erased. Let's proceed. When we come back to the part number and refresh it, we'll see the quantities have not changed, but we now have 44 alternate IDs. 44 because one of the unique items already had an alternate ID. Looking at the transaction history, we see the new event for the change inventory type from serialized to bulk. Now let's look at what happens with custom equivalent inventory types. In this example, there are 2 equivalent inventory types. One is based on bulk, and it's called small tools. The other is based on serialized, and it's called heavy equipment. In each case, they will behave exactly the same as the original, but with a different label. To facilitate reporting, we're going to change the inventory type on this 16-pound sledgehammer from bulk to small tools. On the Change Inventory Type, we click plus, enter in the part number, select the new equivalent inventory type, and click Save. Note that there is no warning message because it's an equivalent inventory type. When we return to the part numbers page and refresh, the only change has been the inventory type on the part. The transaction history shows the change inventory type event from bulk to small tools. We'll do something similar with this scissor lift. We're going to change the inventory type from serialized to heavy equipment. On the Change Inventory Type page, we click plus, enter the part number, select the equivalent inventory type, and click Save. Again, no warning. Refreshing the part numbers page, the only change has been to the inventory type, and viewing the transaction history, we view the event changing the inventory type from serialized to heavy equipment. Let's recap what we've covered so far. Depending on the old and new inventory types, this can cause sections of the history to disappear, such as documents or quantity on hand. This cannot be undone, so be certain what you're doing before you proceed. Serialized parts can only be changed to an inventory type with the same definition, so that would be a custom inventory type. And always, please read the confirmation message for the next step, as this will have impacts on future operations such as rentals and service. Thanks for watching this video at the ToolHound Learning Center. For any questions, please contact our technical support team, and remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell.